Tariq, Tariq, तारिक, ये कैसे जाएगा? इसको मैंने I'm Dr. Ramla Naz, head of the department, chairman for forensic medicine. Working in the capacity of associate professor and the chairperson for the forensic medicine for the DUHS. Along with that, I'm also holding the directorship for the postgraduate program in the forensic that is called DMJ. So good morning to you all. I gave the 5 extra minutes for the rest of the people because last time I was late. So, so I hope that all interested people have already joined. So please do let me know. Last time I got the one complaint, which was just still bothering me. Okay, my pace was very fast. So if you feel like so, just please do let me know. Okay. So our today's topic is delivery. So as we have already done, like in our last session, that was the topic of the pregnancy. These all topics comes under the chapter of forensics of forensic sexology. So why there is a need to look for the delivery instead of it's a gynae topic. So being a forensic people, sometimes forensic is basically the person which correlate that the medicine with the legal matters or helps the help of the law by means of the medicine. So sometimes we get assigned or appointed as the forensic expert or the medical legal officer, so that the court usually call us, ask us to examine and rule out about the delivery, either it happens or evident or not. So to state the probable time of the time of delivery. Sometimes forensically, it is being asked to usually to okay, you feel my voice is a bit low. Okay, is it fine now? Can you hear me now? Okay, okay. So basically, I was just talking about Kiji, what we mean by that, the delivery. So our today's topic is delivery, importance of delivery forensically, because we are being called by the court of the law to just examine that the lady that either she has delivered or not. Is there that the evidence of that the delivery is there? If it's there, then we have to state the duration of that, the probable time of duration, or that the census when the delivery has been done. Other than that, forensically it's very important to rule out either the delivery was took place or not in certain cases, to solve that the certain sort of cases like inheritance, legitimacy, criminal abortions. So for these reasons, usually the person should know about that these things. So let's start with the topic. First of all, let me tell you that the objectives of the today's lecture is, at the end of the lecture, you will be able to describe that what we mean by delivery, signs of the recent delivery in living, sign of the recent delivery in dead, and sign of the remote delivery in living, and sign of the remote delivery in dead, and their medical legal importance of delivery. So let's do this. So delivery, what we really mean by that, the delivery. Delivery means to deliver something. It's the common, or that the it's an English word. So here we, by means of the delivery, that is the expulsion of product of conception. Last time somebody asked me that as well, that what we mean by that, the product of conception, that is the child. I told at that moment as well. Taken the product, we called it product of conception at the birth, along with placenta and membranes out of the mother at completion of, I told you previously in that the pregnancy class, 280 days of pregnancy, that is called full-term pregnancy. The process of the pregnancy delivery is usually the process of the delivery. Basically, it is either the spontaneous, like the vaginal delivery, or assisted, means C-sections. So there is the two exemptions for to how to deliver, but the changes usually arises along with that, that the mode of delivery as well. So here we are clear with the expulsion of the product of the conception at birth with placenta and membranes out of the membrane within that the after the completion of the 280 days, that is called like a full-term pregnancy. If now that the second option arises, if it happens after that the before that 280 days, then it's going to be called as preterm or that the premature delivery. Or if it just happens after that the 280 days, then it's going to be called postterm delivery. So usually proof of delivery will depends upon sign of full term pregnancy modified by event of delivery, whether recent or remote. Is it clear to you? ठीक है, देखिए जी बेसिकली क्या होता है, प्रूफ ऑफ द डिलीवरी जो है वो डिपेंड्स करता है साइन ऑफ फुल टर्म प्रेगनेंसी के ऊपर, दैट इज मॉडिफाइड बाय द इवेंट ऑफ द डिलीवरी, whether that they whether the recent होगा या फिर remote होगी. Recent होगी means like it happens occurs like currently, and remote means it took like a month or so. So which could be like recent and remote में फिर हम इसको further subdivide for that the point of examination we look for in the recent, either it just if we are just examining in the living there are certain different criteria. Then if you are looking in like in the dead person, then we have to emphasize on the few of the things. Okay, and the same is going to be for the remote one. So let's move on. So sign of the recent delivery in the livings. First of all, just keep that thing in your mind. Okay, these characteristics are more of that the full term delivery, okay, rather than the premature one. ठीक है, which are likely premature जो है, they are usually fade up of like as or disappears like within that the 10 to 15 days, or in that the very strong healthy women's, especially in that the either in that the multigravidas, like as you have like seen in that the like you can compare these things like in that the current scenario कि हमारे पास maids काम कर रहे होते हैं, ठीक है, compare them with your family females. Once the lady delivers, she's on the bed for the entire 40 days, right? And but the maids, as soon as they deliver with the very next or day or two, they come to the work. So it totally depends. So for in those such kind of the ladies, it's going to be very hard to just rule out all these changes. Like if it's going to be very early, then we can easily just identify these things. So sign of the recent delivery in the living, we look for that the general appearance of indisposition, like how it is disappearing up. So women looks pale, exhausted, and ill because it's a recent delivery. So pain is gonna be there. History of pain due to that the intermittent contractions of the uterus will be there up to that the 4 to 5 days. So if pain's gonna be there, so you can easily say कि जी अभी तो बहुत ही recent delivery है. Breast changes में that these are enlarged, firm, tense, as we already discussed कि darkened areolas आपको मिलेंगे, prominent non-copy tubercles होंगी. Just recall your pregnancy chapter. Okay, so face veins are prominent. Strias can be seen over there. The breast area, colostrum can be squeezed out up to that the 10 days after the delivery. That is the colostrum we already discussed in the pregnancy chapter. That is the first one which appears in the from the breast milk of the mother, which is also called that the immune booster for the child. ठीक है जी. Now we come to the abdomen. What changes we can see over the abdomen? Abdomen looks like little bit legs, ठीक है, and आपको मिलेगा. और उसके बाद जो है strias, you can appreciate either the stria gravidarum आपको मिल सकती हैं. They are gonna be purplish in color, or that the linea stria, it's that is a straight line, the linea albicans, linea nigra, वो आपको मिल सकती हैं, ठीक है. And then there is the over the genitalia, labias are tender, swollen, lacerated if that the normal delivery has been occurred. ठीक है ना? Don't mix it with that. As I told you, there are two mode of the delivery, either the spontaneous or the assisted. So these things can be seen like genital changes in the spontaneous one. First sheet is ruptured basically, or a little bit bruised at that area. Perineum is lacerated. ठीक है, vaginal discharge, that is the most characteristic sign of the recent delivery. Lochia is basically like that vaginal discharge is called that the lochia usually at that time, that is most characteristic. which usually like appears up like till that for the 2 to 3 weeks, that contains RBCs, WBCs, डेसिडुअल debris है, vaginal epitheliums है, वो सब जो है इसमें add up हुए होते हैं. So it is of like three types. Leukia rubra, that is the first phase, that blood stained for the first 3 days, plus minus 1 day इसमें सब में होता है, ठीक है. So if that the lady is presented with this, then you can easily tell कि जी only the 3 days has been passed up. Leukia serosa, that is the paler or the serous sort of the fluid, less that light brownish in color for the next 3 days. And then the Leukia alba, that is yellowish green whitish for for discharge for further 3 days. Finally, this usually disappears within about the 15 days. It has Leukia has its specific particular odor as well. Now we looked at the changes in over the cervical area, like feel yourself like a forensic expert, okay. आप examination कर रहे हैं. Just after the delivery, soft patulous edges मिलेंगे आपको, ठीक है. Torn होंगे, lacerated transversely. ठीक, internal os cervix like this. The internal os begins to close within the 24 hours, and the external os that lies in in upper the vaginal label, for the first few days it's like gonna be like soft patent admit 2 fingers. So means कि जी अगर आप ये findings मिल रही हैं, means only that the 2 days that the 2 days has been like 1 day has been passed up. After 1 week it usually admits 1 finger with difficulty. Then after 2 weeks it usually closes. ठीक है, it's not gonna permit like any finger there. यूट्रस में आप क्या चेंज देखेंगे? इट्स एनलार्ज palpable abdominally. ठीक है, ये ट्राइन लेबल्स हैं आफ्टर द लेबर. फंडस जो है वो बेसिकली आपका above the uterine label है. Fundus lies 2.5 centimeter 2.5 centimeter above the umbilical area. Here you go. ठीक है, यहाँ पे आपको मिलेगा. Then after 2 to 3 days in the lower abdomen above the pelvis. ठीक है, above the pelvis मिलेगा, which is here you can feel it like it's a hard tennis ball. उसकी तरह से feel कर सकते हैं आप. After 10 days on level with the brim of the pelvis. After 2 to 3 weeks in the pelvic cavity below the level of the pubis. After 6 weeks, normal size. So above up till the level of 10 days, within the 10 days you can appreciate, or that abdominally you can put your findings over kg. You can say kg it's in between that the 10 days has been passed up with the delivery. Then we come to the signs of the recent delivery in the dead person. Sometimes we have received that the bodies और इसमें findings हमें मिल जाते हैं. So all the three, like breast, abdomen and genitalia, are gonna be the same in the recent death. But there is like something which is like because in the dead people we usually perform the autopsy. So for that reason, we have to look for the size of the uterus, which gives us the exact idea or the clue regarding the time period of the time of delivery. Okay? For that reason, we look for the involution of the shrinkage of the uterus. Soon after the delivery, the uterine size is about 20 to 30 centimeter in length. Thickness 5 centimeter होएगी इसकी, but the inner surface lined by the decidua. ठीक है, approx weight इसका जो होगा that is about the 900 grams. Then 2 to 3 days, 18 centimeters, thickness 4 centimeters, and 600 grams in weight. 7 days, 12 to 15 centimeters, thickness 3 centimeters, 450 grams. 14 day पे जो है इसका 10 to 12 centimeters है, 3 centimeter thickness होगी और 300 grams होंगे. 6 week पे जो है length होगी 7 centimeters, thickness 2.5 centimeters, and it is of 70 grams. ठीक है, अच्छा जी. Other than that, on the autopsy, we just when we just dissecting that the uterus, we look for that the placental side as well. ठीक है, which shows that the dark color appearance आपको मिलेगा, उसके अंदर irregular area होगा, ठीक है, और detachment of the placental side you can easily appreciate with the clot of the blood. It's very early, ठीक. And the gross appearance में आप क्या देखेंगे placental size में soon after that the delivery 15, it's usually about that the 15 centimeter in diameter, covered with the clotted blood, lymph for the portions of the decidua. After 1 to 2 weeks become 4 to 5 centimeter in diameter. We have to measure all these things at that the like autopsy table, like you have that like visceral examination table along with us at that moment. तो उधर हम इस चीज को measure करते हैं, वेइंग में मशीन भी हमारी वहीं पे पड़ी होती है, तो वहीं पे हम उसको रख के डिसेक्ट करते हैं. आफ्टर 6 to 12 week become 1 to 2 centimeters in diameter. So if you don't find anything like आपको anything over there, then you go for that the histological tissues जो है send करते हैं. Endometrial shows the presence of trophoblastic epitheliums आपको मिलेंगे, chorioniculai मिलेंगे, ठीक है. Ovaries, which shows that the presence of carpus luteum, which we already discussed, that is the hormone secreting structure, ठीक है, आपको वो मिल जाएगा आराम से easily, which disappears after like which is evident after that the 1 to 2 months, ठीक है. तो extreme limit पे अगर उसका size होगा, that shows that it's the pregnancy was there and it's the very early pregnancy, ठीक है. Then slowly gradually that regresses, so it also gives the clue like that, ठीक है जी. Now we come to that the now we have given that like even along with the placental side, we look for that the ovaries and the fallopian tubes, ठीक है, वो भी आपको जो है क्या कहते हैं swollen मिलती हैं, congested मिलती हैं, ठीक है ना. So these are the things you have to see in case of recent delivery in the dead person, ठीक है. These are again gonna give you that the idea regarding that how much time has been passed up, or that there is that the days has been passed up with the delivery of the person. Now we come to that the signs of the remote delivery in the living. Just like after that remote में क्या होता है, basically after the initial delivery phase is over, there are certain changes in that the in the parturient female that persist, ठीक है. जो डिलीवर करा चुकी होती हैं उनके अंदर बहुत सारे साइंस ऐसे होते हैं जो कि persist रहते हैं. So pregnancy, if done up with that the full term delivery, leaves permanent telltale marks on the body of the women, ठीक है. हम इसको इससे जो है डिनोट करते हैं कि ऑलरेडी आपको पता चल जाएगा, though you are not going to tell that the exact dates of that the time duration which has been passed, but you can tell कि जी yes, the lady has delivered somehow, like maybe that the more than that the 2 month has been passed up or something like that, ठीक है. ब्रेस्ट इंडियस में क्या होगा, लेग्स होंगे, सॉफ्ट होंगे, पेंट्यूलस होंगे, बट लीनिया इज गोना बी प्रेजेंट देयर. Nipple enlarged होंगे with dark areola round Montgomery tubercles जरूर मौजूद होंगे. Abdomen, legs, linea, albicans मिल सकती हैं, nigra मिल सकती हैं. They're gonna be present over there, which is again give you the telltale marks कि जी that the process has been like took place. Then that the genitalia, there is the rupture of the perineum and the hymen is going to be seen at the examination. But in that the like primigravida, there is that the either that the hymen or text of the hymen can be appreciated by means of the curtain pattern that is called Caraniculi maritiformis, ठीक है. But in that the multigravida it's not present, ठीक. So it also give you that the like virginity has been lost up and that the lady has delivered, ठीक है. तो Carinicular maritiformis जो है वो hymen आपको premium जरूर मिल जाती हैं, but लेकिन multigravida में because as the time has been passed that the multiple deliveries has been gone through, so उसकी वजह से वो नहीं मिलेगा, ठीक है. So there will be the gap in the vagina मिलेगा आपको, gapping होगा, loss of viscosity of the vaginal wall होगा. Internal os in the Paris women, it is not well defined, ठीक है जी. External os in the Paris women, ठीक है. It is like external transverse irregular fissure जो है बना हुआ होगा like this. ठीक है. It's gonna be like that. External loss in the paraspinals transverse irregular. ठीक है. And like a fissured and which can admit the tip of the finger, but in that the nulliparous it is like a rounded with the dimple in the center and the orifice is basically closed. ठीक है. तो ये आपको again it will give you the clue kg yes the lady has delivered. Then the sign of the remote delivery in the dead person. So basically again we have to rule it out on our the things which we can just took it out from the body and to perform that the examination, then we will be able to just tell that कि जी हाँ ये जो है क्या कहते हैं either that the delivery was happened there or not. So uterus आपको क्या मिलेगा, large, thick and heavier. ठीक है. That will give you the one idea. Walls जो हैं आपकी उसके concave from that the inside forming the wider and rounded cavity. Top of the fundus is convex मिलेगा. ठीक है. Then other than that there is one more finding you can see kg you can appreciate that is fundus tends to be the fundus of the uterus that the fundus of the uterus basically tends to be higher than the fallopian tube. ठीक है. और ये देखें आप ये nulliparous में है तो इसमें the fundus is usually being higher than the at the level of the fallopian tube. ठीक है. Other than that length of the uterus is gonna be twice than the length of the cervix. ठीक है ना. सर्वाइकल सेगमेंट से ज्यादा उसका 2% उससे ज्यादा होएगा. ठीक है. Other than that you can appreciate that the arborvitae जो है वो मिस हो जाते हैं. Arborvitae क्या होते हैं, cervical canals के पे basically it's present like fold in the form of foldings. अगर आपको अपना anatomy याद हो तो arborvitae folds होते थे जो कि laterally extend करते थे anterior posterior wall में. With the process of the delivery that disappears. So usually these 2, 3, 4 things which usually give you the conclusion the delivery has took place. ठीक है. So it's almost like about that the 2 months it is not possible to give that the exact period of the delivery. ठीक है. But like before that duration we can give like some kind of that the conclusion. Now come to that the medical legal point of view. Why we are teaching or why we are emphasizing on to know you guys about that these topics. In the civil cases, sometimes you're being called for just if that the faint delivery has been done, so that there is the claiming of the property of the deceased husband, and in case of the substitious child, that the female present that the substitious child then ask for that the heredity or claims for कि जी क्या कि either that that I'm sorry, I get distracted up because one of the faculty members, she's like having that the very, she's on the phone and she's just very loud. Okay. So the faint deliveries के अंदर बेटा हम देखते हैं कि the civil cases and like in that this postitious child, when that the child has been produced towards the court and being claimed कि it has been delivered by that the same person and asked for that some kind of the compensation. So in such conditions that the court usually called us to examine that lady. Other than that, or if that the other than that, in the criminal cases, questions of the delivery assumes important in the trial of abortion on the infanticide. Yes, because in the upcoming lecture we will discuss that the abortion and the infanticide, which is the crime in our country. So basically we look for it if the delivery has been done, so उसको rule out किया जाता है. Concealment of the child be gotten out of the explicit relationship for the by means of ladies just affiliation cases है, proceeding for the blackmail है, if lady delivered and hide that baby and just come up with that for the heirship and to blackmail that person. Such kind of the court cases, like usually comes in the court, and where that the court of law called us to examine and to perform examination on them and give them that the brief summary regarding that the presentation of such cases. Either that it's true or not, delivery has been done or not, and we have to give them the time duration taken, and like, or even that the legitimacy in cases of the legitimacy is there. So even in that cases, if that the some person's husband has died and the duration has been passed but she delivered, then again that the question arises कि time of the delivery क्या है. So because उससे conclusion of the period of the pregnancy उसका निकाल के evaluate किया जाता है कि either it's true or not. ठीक है. So this is all about today's topic, and hope you all understand that the topic clearly. And the next time, we are going to start with the abortion. That is very important topic, because it's all related towards your law, related with the laws. Other than that, I have already uploaded the previous lecture, and today I'm going to upload this one as well. So if anybody wants to ask anything, they can. You guys are most welcome. And hope this time I was not very fast, right? अच्छा बेटा देखो, cervix and vagina are basically, if you just talk about that, in the living, ठीक है, living individuals में, when you just put your hand in vaginal examination हम perform करते हैं, we can feel, ठीक है ना, ऑस भी आपको फील हो रहा होता है, उसका शेप भी फील होता है, उसका कंसिस्टेंसी भी फील कर सकते हैं आपके, आइदर जो है क्या कहते हैं, इट्स स्पैचुलस है या हार्ड है कि सॉफ्ट है. ठीक है, फर्स्ट थिंग. दूसरी बात यह कि if in cases of the dead person, when you open and you took out the uterus, first you take it out like the entire body, then you dissect it up, then even you can easily appreciate it कि जी ऑस का फिगर कैसा है. ठीक है ना. तो हम इंटरनल और एक्सटर्नल ऑस की बात उधर कर रहे थे कि जी जब आप डेड में हम देख रहे थे कि इट्स गोना बी ट्रांसफर्स इनसाइड, देयर वाज externally transverse होगा, admitting like little, with the pressure that the finger is there, and there is the hard and dimple shaped होगा, rounded होगा. ठीक है ना. तो वो easily पता चल जाता है. The person can learn with that experience. Whenever you will get that your rotation in the gynae, you can easily appreciate all these things. ठीक है. Now DMC students still don't have the access to IMS LMS portal. Beta, I already talked to your LMS administrator yesterday, and I shared my presentation there on that day, on the same day. ठीक है. So please, I'm again gonna request her, because आप लोगों के IDs होंगे through which you can access that LMS. ठीक है ना. उधर आप उसको पोर्टल खोल के चेक कर सकते हो. ठीक. फिर भी मैं दोबारा से आपको अपकमिंग क्लास में कंफर्म कर दूंगी. अच्छा, other than that, what is the definition of Acha, remote beta, remote delivery? Basically, what is remote delivery? Remote in which that is some time duration after that the initial delivery phase has over and there are certain changes and the time has been passed up. That is, we called it remote. Recent is means the current delivery. Remote means that when the time has been lapsed up. तो हम उसको जो है वो remote कहते हैं. ठीक है ना. Healing process के बाद जब आप चले जाएंगे तो it's become the remote. ठीक है. अच्छा. Can't we just do DNA test to find out who is the father? It's a very good question, but if you will just read your law, तो लॉ आपका साइंस को इतना प्रेफर नहीं करता. इफ यू डू रिमेम्बर एंड सर्च फॉर द जेना मर्डर केस, the culprit was like roaming here and there because we don't have any kind of that the statement कि the scientifically DNA test पे आप उसको सजा दे सकते हैं because you need that the witnesses for the rape. ठीक है तो this is the flaw in that the in our system or in our legal system, legal proceedings. उसके बाद कुछ amendments बनाए गए थे उस बंदे को कैप्चर करने के लिए because it was a huge cry of the crowd कि उसको punishment मिलना चाहिए. But this is very true. Internationally we go for the DNA test and it's acceptable there, but this is like the additional knowledge for that in our court, Sharia courts, because these kind of the cases of the rape and all that thing usually runs in the Sharia court. So here we look for that the religious laws, rules and regulation, though it needs that the little amendments beta. Okay, I think I cleared your answer. Acha ji. Other than that, the question is on autopsy, the uterus will be large and heavier. What would it be compared to? Because when you already know about that the normal anatomy of the uterus, as I told you, in the nulliparous and that the parus, or with that this by seeing that the decidual tissues in it. ठीक है आप उसके थ्रू भी आप बता सकते हैं, थिकनिंग से बता सकते हैं that the normal uterine size is about अगर आप उसको देखें before the menstruation it's about 2 to 3 centimeter hardly, and it extend when the one menarche has been done, but that after that it's going to be like hardly 3 to 4 centimeters. But once the pregnancy has been done, it extended up and has its size. ठीक है so it totally depends gradually, and this is that the basic anatomy and learning of understanding of yours. ठीक है और दूसरी बात ये कि comparative charts होते हैं. When we perform that the autopsy, we have that the prior knowledge regarding कि what is that the normal जो है क्या कहते हैं size of the uterus, and once that the case comes to you and you have to examine it up, as I gave you the idea कि in the nulliparous uterus में उसका convexity और concavity different होता है. Fallopian tubes जो हैं they're gonna be always upper than the level of the fundus of the uterus. So these are the demarcations and lines on which you can just make your conclusion and findings. ठीक है? Any other question? I hope I have cleared all your queries. If it's still you have any query, you can ask me right now, or you can just email me or send me the message so I can clear your queries. Other than that, I'm just planning to put little notes, or that the little the quizzes over the LMS, so you will be able to learn more regarding it. ठीक है अच्छा जी इमरान. So Pakistan court system thinks DNA testing is fake, while the rest of the world think it's real. That is scary. It's not beta. They took it that the scientific evidence in that the in the separate box, and the law, which is that the Sharia law, which is being designed according to the Quran and Sunnah, they took it on that the priority basis in another box. Okay, these are they can took it as the supporting documents, but they emphasize on that the basic gist of the for the decision making, like there should be evidence based things, like witnesses should be there. ठीक है ना तो this is not something which is called कि DNA का कोई existence नहीं है, लेकिन ऐसा नहीं है, ऐसा नहीं है, लेकिन ये है कि हमारे लॉ में बहुत सारी चीज़ें ऐसी हैं जो कि उनमें अमेंडमेंट्स की चेंजेस की ज़रूरत है, और अभी भी इसको भी एड ऑन हो चुका है ये DNA टेस्टिंग जो है, लेकिन every time sometimes because this is something which is can be altered or denied. ठीक है जी can be altered by somebody or the lab or something like that. But the eyewitnesses are always like, we considered that they like, that usme in cases of the zina and all that thing, कि वो consider or assume किया जाता है they are not lying at like, in front of giving that the testimony, or when they were just testifying in front of like, Quran, and they were just taking the swear over the Quran, they won't lie over it. ठीक है तो these are the things like, these are the very thin here, like you can say कि lines के जिनके ऊपर these are debatable as well, जिसके ऊपर बहुत सारा टाइम लगाया जा सकता है. Anything else? I think you guys have done like okay. So see you guys inshallah in the next upcoming class. For that, till that time, thank you very much for being like so patient and hearing me. I don't know how much of you are currently present or just this like formal chat. But anyways, thank you very much. Have a good day. Tariq.